And the project in Burundi aims to make access to clean water available to all. Hello viewers, this is Addis News Hour. I'm Daniel Kasahun with the news. The Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Demeqa Mekonnen, said following the peace agreement, Ethiopia has maintained registering encouraging results through economic diplomacy. He underscores it is possible to achieve the growth that Ethiopia envisions. At the opening of the 7th round of National Coordination Forum for Economic Diplomacy today, Chief Administrators of regional states, ministers and other pertinent stakeholders have taken part to foster ADS and converge into common understanding. Yohannes Fantaun has more.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs Demeqa Mekonnen said it is possible to achieve the growth that Ethiopia envisions by increasing domestic economic reform and foreign direct investment. The Deputy Prime Minister said this at a National Coordination Forum in which Chief Administrators of regional states, ministers and other pertinent stakeholders have participated. The Deputy Prime Minister applauded the need to strengthen homegrown economic reform and foreign direct investment to raise the Ethiopian economy, which is on the path of growth despite going through many ups and downs, to a higher level.
አገራችን ወደ ሰላም አውድ እየተሸጋገረች በዲፕሎማሲው
As our country is transitioning to a peaceful state, we are making great efforts to use the opportunities of normalization and beyond in a field of diplomacy. In economic field, homegrown economic reform and foreign direct investment are very important to lead our economy and a path of development with a complete and better change.
ሀገር በቀል የኢኮኖሚ ሪፎርማችንን አሁን ወደ ደረስንበት ደረጃ አጠናክሮ ለማስቀጠል
Demeqa reminded the participants of the forum that they should stop illegal trade and encourage investment by recalling the harm that contraband is causing to the economy of the country.
ኮንትሮባንድ የማያቆስለው ኢኮኖሚ የለም በሁሉም ያገራችን
There's no economy that is not affected by contraband, by distorting the domestic trade system, harming our foreign trade relations, and expanding legality. Here is a situation that is causing a lot of pressure to build a distorted economy. Therefore, the agenda of encouraging investment, having legality, and establishing a legal system is key to the current national transformation effort.
ኢንቨስትመንትን የማበረታታት ህገወጥነትን የመግታት እና ህጋዊ ስርዓትን የማስፈን አጀንዳ
State Minister of the Minister of Foreign Affairs Misganu Aragga on his part said that the economic reforms being implemented in Ethiopia have stimulated foreign investment in the country.
ሀገር በቀል የኢኮኖሚ ሪፎርም ስራዎቻችን በኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ የኢንቨስትመንት ፍሰትን እንዲጨምር አድርጓል.
Our homegrown economic reform work has increased the flow of investment in Ethiopia. This has been seen in the telecom sector. In addition, reforms in other sectors of the economy have stimulated foreign investment.
ያመጣናቸው ማሻሻያዎች የውጭ ኢንቨስትመንት እንዲነቃቃ አድርጓል.
በባለፈው 7 ወር የውጭ ቀጥተኛ ኢንቨስትመንት አንፃር
Commissioner of the Ethiopian Investment Commission Lelise Nemi said that the investment flow of the past 7 months compared to the same period of last year showed a growth of 16.5%. She stated that the peace agreement signed in Pretoria has contributed significantly to this. The forum will contribute to exchange views on the obstacles encountered in attracting foreign direct investment.
The Foreign Minister of Yemen, Dr. Ahmed Awad bin Mubarak, has arrived in Addis Ababa today for an official working visit to Ethiopia. Upon arrival at the Addis Ababa International Airport, he was accorded a warm welcome by State Minister of Foreign Affairs, Misganu Aragga. The objective of the visit is to exchange views on ways of strengthening the bilateral relations of Ethiopia and Yemen. During his stay in Ethiopia, the Foreign Minister of Yemen is expected to discuss with senior government officials of Ethiopia. IYF, an international organization based in Korea and best known for training on mindset, has provided training on various topics to the members of HPR. During training sessions today to the members of House of People's Representatives, the Speaker, Tagish Chafo, reiterated the training provided on mindset will greatly contribute to changing personal life, one's surrounding, and also the nation at large. He underscores Ethiopia and Korea are in good shape to cement their bilateral relations. Tigis has the following account.
The bilateral relations between Ethiopia and Korea have been particularly strengthened over the past 20 years. In terms of recognition of Ethiopia, many initiatives have been and are being implemented by Korea. IYF, an international organization based in Korea, best known for training on mindset, has provided training on various topics to the members of the Council on Monday. House Speaker Tagish Chafo pointed out that Ethiopia and Korea have been working together in health, agriculture, economy, in various fields before. He stressed that the work of the organization called IYF, which focuses on the change of mind in our country, will help to develop the idea of it's possible. The Speaker underscored that the training provided on mindset will greatly contribute to changing personal life, one's surrounding, and also the nation at large.
Since
the very morning, we came to learn that Koreans have changed their country right after a change in mindset. The change of the mindset helped them register a significant economic benefit, and be exact, they have now reached to gain $35,000 per capita. They have a saying that goes hand in hand with what they have achieved now, which says developing intellectual muscle in order to achieve every possible way.
He further added that Ethiopia and Korea has to work level-based in various sectors for the future as well. Dr. Misrak Mekonnen, Secretariat for the House, for her part, noted that the training assists the members to come up with a mindset which helps taking into account the general public.
This kind of training helps members of the parliament to take into account what sort of mindset they should develop while leading and representing the general public that have elected them.
Ethiopia and Korea have had diplomatic relations for 66 years, which is maintained through various cooperation schemes.
Welcome to the land of origins. Commercial Bank of Ethiopia is pleased to serve all your traveler banking needs. If you have money from any of these 16 countries, you can convert it to local currency by visiting our nearest branch. Alternatively, our secure Forex ATMs accept cash exchange, or if you prefer using your cards, we've partnered with Visa, MasterCard, and UnionPay so that you can withdraw cash from our local ATMs or make cashless transactions at thousands of local POS partners securely and with confidence. We are linked with more than 700 global banks through our direct SWIFT address, CBE Teta. We also work with 16 international money transfer agents, out of which Tune and World Remit enable you to make direct deposits into our savings and current accounts or our popular CBE Burr mobile wallet. Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, the bank you can always rely on.
Welcome back. You are watching this news hour. An ICRC intern named Dawi Cholat, who has visited the drought-affected areas in Ethiopia's Moyale and the Borona zone of Oromia, has urged the government to address the ongoing drought in the region, especially with initiatives to lessen the effects of climate change. In order to ensure the survival of the pastoralist and semi-pastoralist community, Dawi, the ICRC intern, also called on media outlets to provide adequate information about the country's drought-affected areas to prevent them in advance. Kasan Channe has more details on that.
Tola, an ICRC intern who has visited the drought-affected areas in Ethiopia's Moyale and a Borona zone of Oromia, called on media outlets to provide enough information about the various regions of the country's drought-affected areas, highlighting how important it is for the survival of the pastoralist and semi-pastoralist community.
Media is such a very powerful resource when it comes to spreading awareness. The drought has been going on for about 3 years. This is the 5th cycle now. And the media was a little bit prolonged. They were delayed in response.
Overdue, kind of.
It was very overdue. Now, and you can see the power they have, because now once they started reporting, once you started seeing on TV, you can see the people that they're touching are not just private sectors.
The intern has urged the government to take action to address the ongoing drought in the Borona zone of the Oromia region in a sustainable way, especially in light of ongoing efforts to further mitigate the impacts of climate change that are already being felt throughout the country and the region.
In order to create a long-term sustainable development strategy, Ethiopia needs to not only focus on just Borana, because climate change is a reoccurring issue, and it's not just always affecting Borana, like we also see some in Afar and things like that. So what they need, it's not just a responsibility of just one sector or one ministry. It should be seen as a national issue, and the government needs to take more of a leading role while the others play an assisting role, because the government will have access, they have power, they have structure. So all they have to do is work synchronizedly or in a concerted method. They just need to come up with a strategy and a long-term plan and make sure that it has been carried out. And even when it comes to NGOs or any private sectors, all these things can do is play assisting roles, while the government takes the leading role and creates things that are needed.
She also pinpointed the government and other stakeholders to increase their continued support to lessen the hardships after engaging with pastoralists while she was in Borana. It was widely known that numerous animals, including cattle, sheep and goats, had drowned as a result of the extreme drought that had hit the region.
This is this News Hour. The World Health Organization WHO Country Office for Ethiopia confirmed that 35 metric tons of emergency medical supplies delivered to health facilities in the Tigray region. The latest round of supplies was obtained from the support by EU Civil Protection Humanitarian Aid, USAID, and UNCRF, the UN's emergency fund, as noted. It's also confirmed that the emergency medical supplies are being delivered to 48 health facilities in central and northwest zones of the Tigray region, targeting to benefit 700,000 people. In business, the ETO Engineering Group and the Chinese Yutong Company signed an accord to manufacture 2,000 city buses. So far, Yutong-based company purchased the first 110 modern buses that are suitable for service and that meets the standard of the city at a cost of over $15 million. The agreement has been inked today by CEO of ETO Engineering Group, Ambassador Suleiman Defo, and the Yutong Company's representative, Li Xin, here today. Haptan Washagre reports.
ETO Engineering Group and Yutong Company have signed a memorandum of understanding to assemble 2,000 buses in Addis Ababa. Signing the agreement, CEO of ETO Engineering Group Suleiman Defo said the agreement is vital to solve transportation problem in the capital.
What makes different the signing ceremony of today is that we will import about 2,000 Yutong buses to be assembled in Bishoftu automotive industry. And I think that will be the largest fleet of Yutong buses in the city of Addis Ababa. By presenting the 2,000 buses to the Addis Ababa city, I'm very hopeful that will significantly curb the transportation problem of the peoples of the city.
According to Suleiman, the memorandum of understanding is also critical to bolster the relationship with Yutong Company in the near future.
I'm very hopeful that this will not be the last group of Yutong buses in Addis. In a very short while, after completion of this fleet, we'll have another more thousands of Yutong buses, maybe including the cross-country buses, to be assembled in Ethiopia.
Representatives of Yutong Company, Lu Shai for his part said his company is committed to share its experience to adopt technology to Ethiopia.
The market share for us is around 28.2%. As the leading one, the rank number first in China, and also for the previous 20 years up to now, we are number one brand in China. As to the worldwidely, and we have almost 10% market share as for the medium and large size buses. As for this contract, like I mentioned, this is the biggest fleet order we achieved for Ethiopia.
ETO Engineering Group, which is one of the 9 industries from Bishoftu automotive manufacturing industries, manufacturing over 50 buses with an outlay of over 450 million birr in 2021-22 fiscal year.
Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Ethiopia to the People's Republic of China, Tafara Derebo, had a fruitful discussion with various Chinese investment associations in the Ethiopian embassy in Beijing. The discussion focused on participating in the high-level investment forum that will be held from April 26 to 28 in Addis Ababa. Presidents and CEOs from 20 associations engaged in different sectors, including mining, energy, steel and iron, textile, leather products, agro-processing, among others, have participated. In his speech, Ambassador Tefera thanked the associations for accepting the embassy's invitation to attend the meeting, noting that this shows their commitment to work in cooperation with Ethiopia. He highlighted the investment opportunities in Ethiopia, calling upon the associations to organize their member companies to attend the high-level investment forum in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
Welcome to the land of origins. Commercial Bank of Ethiopia is pleased to serve all your traveler banking needs. If you have money from any of these 16 countries, you can convert it to local currency by visiting our nearest branch. Alternatively, our secure Forex ATMs accept cash exchange, or if you prefer using your cards, we've partnered with Visa, MasterCard, and UnionPay so that you can withdraw cash from our local ATMs or make cashless transactions at thousands of local POS partners securely and with confidence. We are linked with more than 700 global banks through our direct SWIFT address, CBE Teta. We also work with 16 international money transfer agents, out of which Tune and World Remit enable you to make direct deposits into our savings and current accounts or our popular CBE Birr mobile wallet. Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, the bank you can always rely on.
I just want to tell you guys, Akwaba, Karibu, welcome to Ghana!
My name is Princess Hatia. I am the globe-trotting princess and author. Welcome to my city, Accra. Accra is the capital of Ghana. Now today I'm taking you on a tour to various places in the city. We're currently at the Independence Square in Accra. Now the Independence Square is the second largest square in the world after Tiananmen Square. Accra has about 4 million people. Accra is a major economic trading hub of Ghana. We're in Makola Market. Makola Market is the second largest market in West Africa. This is where I come to buy all my fabrics, food stuff. It's a busy, bustly place. It's a lovely place to come. So if you want to get any souvenirs, Makola Market is the place to come. Now come on with me.
Welcome back. The United Nations Economic Commission for Africa said Africa needs to foster recovery and transformation to reduce inequalities and vulnerabilities in the continent exacerbated by various problems. Finance Minister Ahmed Shide said Ethiopia is one of Africa's recent examples of resilience in the face of multiple shocks. This said at the 55th session of Finance Ministers Conference. Kushmal Sow has more from the Ethiopian News Agency.
The 55th edition of African Finance Ministers Planning and Economic Development Conference is underway, aiming at renewed focus and action on reducing poverty, inequality, and other factors that leave the African population continuously vulnerable to these scourges. United Nations Economic Commission for Africa said Africa needs to foster recovery and transformation to reduce inequalities and vulnerabilities in the continent exacerbated by various problems. Africa's growth is rebounding at 4.1% as inflation has been reduced to 12% so far. However, the continent needs double-digit growth rates to achieve breakthrough to promote a new cycle of sustainable growth, arrange regulated business and innovation climate.
We need to accelerate the development of our domestic and regional financial markets to raise the required revenues for development. As Ministers of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, we recognize that your job is not easy, and balancing between competing needs will always be a challenge. However, we have a number of transformational opportunities that with the right scale and speed will give us a chance to bring the implementation of the SDGs and Agenda 2063 back on track.
Speaking at the event, Ethiopia's finance minister for its part said Ethiopia is one of Africa's recent examples of resilience in the face of multiple shocks. Accordingly, the growth was fueled partly by favorable terms of trade, better macroeconomic management and growth investment.
Ethiopia is one of the most recent examples of resilience in the face of multiple shocks. The current government of Ethiopia launched the homegrown economy reform in 2018 to ensure a macroeconomic stability, to increase ease of doing business and addressing institutional constraints for inclusive and private sector-led growth. As Africans, it is important to recognize that we share the same destiny, and divided we remain fragmented, but united we rise strong and well integrated. Big achievements emanate from making wise use of our available resources and opportunities at hand. The steps we take together, both as individual countries and as a continent, will guarantee us a better and prosperous future. The recent experience of my country on improving agricultural productivity to achieve food sovereignty is a prime example of exploiting collective wisdom of African stakeholders.
UN Economic Commission for Africa Regional Integration and Trade Division Director remarked African countries should exert more effort on infrastructure connectivity to maximize the benefits of regional integration. The director urged African governments to allow African airlines to land in their respective airports and pick up goods and services on the ratification of the Free Movement Protocol. Some 25 countries provide visa on arrival and many others enabled electronic visa application, the director added.
Burundi's Institute of Statistics and Economic Studies said a quarter of children under the age of 5 suffer from illness related to dirty water and diarrheal disease, are responsible for a third of their deaths. But now, the project in Burundi aims to make access to clean water available to all. The dream of a group of young Burundians who are producing chlorine locally is that everyone should have access to clean drinking water. Shagai Matazmau.
It all began in a laboratory in Cibitoke in the west of the country at the headquarters of their NGO Water for Development.
We make chlorine. It's made by chemical transformation, the electrolysis of salt water. We take the salt and the water and we stir it to have a homogeneous solution. Then we put it in an apparatus that is used to produce the chlorine. The process takes 2 hours.
In a region where access to clean drinking water remains a significant problem, their project is literally a lifesaver. It takes about 2 hours to produce the chlorine, and then it is time for delivery and distribution to the various water points. The founder of Water for Development, Oliver Dizimbazi, explained that a chlorine dispenser is installed next to a water point.
We install a chlorine dispenser next to a water point. And then, when the beneficiary comes to draw water, they will first dispense a few drops of carefully measured chlorine into the cans, and then draw water in the normal way. After 30 minutes, the water is treated and protected against any further external recontamination.
Today, with over 30 chlorine dispensers installed near water sources and schools, more than 50,000 people have benefited from the initiative.
This product is hugely beneficial. Our children no longer have bloated stomachs. There's no more diarrhea. Today, it's good. There's been a positive change. We no longer get abdominal pain.
Burundi's Institute of Statistics and Economic Studies said a quarter of children under the age of 5 suffer from illnesses related to dirty water, and diarrheal diseases are responsible for a third of their deaths. In 2019, German International Development Agency GIZ said 25% of Burundi's water sources were contaminated with bacteria, with this figure rising to 75% at household level.
Just to remind you the headlines. The Foreign Ministry says Ethiopia registers encouraging results through economic diplomacy. And the project in Burundi aims to make access to clean water available to all. That's all for this edition. Thank you for your company. Goodbye and stay safe.